everyone. My name is Matthew Neves. I'm one of the co-hosts of the Real Talk podcast. And here at Real Talk Studios, we read every single one of your comments. And there's one specific that we've been getting every single day. And I'd like to address it right now. This is not Drake. Alright? This is not 99-cent Drake. This is not Value Village Drake. This is, Mom, do we have Drake at home? And then she's like, we have Drake here, and this is it. This is not Drake. This is my co-host, Nathan. And I'd like everyone on here to know that before we start this episode. Okay? Okay? So if I see one more comment that says, oh, we got the dollar store Drake, I'm gonna find you. And we'll kill you. Alright, let's start this shit.
Welcome back to the Real Talk Podcast, episode 76. I'm your host, Nathan, and I'm joined by the man himself, Matthew Neves to my left.
Thank you.
And today, we're going to be talking about the MCU.
Oh no.
And answer the question, what the fuck is Marvel doing?
Oh no. Oh no! Yeah, we found out that a lot of people still watch these movies.
Yeah, people do, huh?
I feel like this is the perfect time to talk about this discussion because of the release of Ant-Man Quantum Mechanics or whatever that fucking movie is. I don't fucking know now. It's Ant-Man 4.
Ant-Man Quantum Physics?
Quantum Physics, Quantum Mechanics. What the Let me search it up. I literally have a laptop here.
No,
and
it's Quantum Mania.
Quantum Mania.
Yeah.
That sounds like a roller coaster at Universal Studios, man.
Yeah.
I love it. By that I mean I saw the trailer. I think we both saw it.
Yeah.
And it looks like the ugliest fucking thing
It's
in the
the
world.
only thing I'll be watching in relation to this film. The trailer.
Yeah. And the reviews show it too. People are kind of getting tired of these films. This is the lowest rated MCU film since The Externals. Nope, that's Eternals.
Read out those ratings real quick.
48% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Ouch.
48% on Metacritic.
Ouch.
A 6.5 out of 10 on IMDb, which IMDb usually is pretty nice with these movies.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty low rating, all things considered.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, like, what do you think is wrong with the MCU, Nathan?
Well, for one, I think they're putting out a lot of dog movies.
Mhm.
They're bad.
Yeah.
That's just they're rushed. They're
Right.
rushed, I think, and they're counting on cameos and cross-referencing to kind of carry the films,
Right.
as opposed to just making a real solid story. And it's like, oh, it's nice that like another hero comes and helps or something, but you gotta have a real solid story with stakes that move the whole MCU forward. If you're gonna do the universe,
Yeah.
you gotta care about it, man.
Yeah.
It can't just be like, here's 5 shit films leading up to one exciting good one.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? You can't do it like that.
Mm-hmm. I think it comes down as well to this art of nostalgia. And I'm saying art because there is an art form behind using nostalgia, right?
100%.
And I feel like the MCU, they've been making films since 2008. So that's about 15 years. You got 15 years worth of film, television, media in your hands.
Yeah.
And they're just kind of doing callbacks from the shit before and the shit before.
Mhm.
You got to bring it back. And when you bring it back, you got to make a sequel out of that return. And when you make a sequel out of that return, then you get crossover over crossover. And you think to yourself, well, where's the identity? Not just from the characters that are being presented, but the filmmakers behind this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. I don't know who is involved in, like, Black Widow. Who directed that film? Do you know?
No.
Fuck if I know. Like,
And that's the thing with the early Marvel stuff, you know who directed it.
yes.
It's like almost hard to say Spider-Man without saying Sam Raimi Spider-Man.
Yep.
Because it's so Sam Raimi, right? Like everybody
much so.
knows that.
Yeah. Batman has been handled by a bunch of talented directors.
And we all know who they are.
Yeah,
We
you don't
know.
you don't even have to say anything. You could just say the Burton Batman.
Exactly.
You fucking the Nolan Batman.
Exactly.
The Matt Reeves Batman. It's like that's how you handle it. And then it's just kind of look at this. I'm looking at phase 1 of Marvel and it's like, man, the simpler days.
The simpler days, Iron Man, Incredible Hulk, Iron
Yeah.
Man 2, First Avengers.
Man, if they just make an Incredible Hulk like movie, not even just Incredible Hulk, but like a movie that simple,
Yeah.
I'd be down. That film is like 90 minutes,
the Hulk beating the shit out of Abomination.
And I loved it.
That's all you need.
And I loved it.
Yeah, and now it's like these films are like, oh yeah, we're gonna make a 3-hour long Black Panther movie that is the most epic thing in the whole entire universe. I'm like, it's so fucking long. Like, why do they have to be long? All of these films that are listed here, like the majority of them, 2 hours and 41 minutes, 2 hours and 37 minutes. We got 2 hours and 13, 2 hour. Like, man. Get a shorter film, I think, is another thing too. Like my favorite MCU related thing from last year was Werewolf by Night.
Which I didn't see that, but I know you guys had high praise on your podcast episode.
Yeah, it's a simple story. It's like a Halloween special about a guy turning into a wolf and fighting bad guys for like 50 minutes.
Very cool.
That's great.
Yeah.
I would take that over an 8-episode boring ass miniseries that could have been in a 2-hour film or a 2.5, 3-hour long movie that didn't need to be that long.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's crazy. The new Ant-Man film is also 2 hours, and it's like
It's not like they're long and they're coming out too frequently.
Yes.
In my opinion. You look at the first Iron Man, 2008, right? Then you get Hulk the same year. But then Iron Man 2 comes out 2 years later.
Yes.
And then you get Avengers 2 years after that. So it's like they took their time with this shit, I feel like. And when an MCU movie came out, it was a big deal because it was happening once a year,
Right.
every other year, something like that. It was like, oh, this is the Marvel movie. Now it's like, fuck, every month I got to go see a shit MCU movie?
Yeah.
It almost feels that way. I know it's not coming out every month, but they're coming out extremely often. They don't feel like you don't feel the hype of a superhero movie coming out like you used to.
It's quantity over quality.
Yeah.
It really comes down to that because it's like that's kind of why I know you're not a huge fan of them, but like the Guardians of the Galaxy films, I feel like they stand out more than like the Ant-Man films, even the Thor films now. Like you make Ragnarok, which is a very solid action film that has its style and stuff, and then you do Love and Thunder with the worst fucking comedy you could imagine. And it's like you got to know your strengths and you got to like try to do something different with it. That's why, like, I'm not the biggest James Gunn fan, but at least he makes something different.
Right.
At least he has a fan base that will only watch the Guardians films and nothing else from MCU. That's when you know you made a good film, I would say. But, yeah.
I also think they're playing with too many IPs at once.
Yeah.
Like, do you think they would be better to just, like, focus on, a handful of heroes and kind of intertwine their stories together a little bit and not, like, there's just too much now. I can't keep up.
I feel like what they need to do is take these obscure IPs and do what Warner Brothers did with Todd Phillips and Matt Reeves, where don't give them the biggest budgets in the entire universe. Because the Batman, it's relatively 150, 200 million. That's pretty expensive, but compared to the Batman films costing now, it's like, it's relative.
Yeah.
And then Joker by Todd Phillips, directed by, it's about 50 million.
Wow. Yeah.
$50 million. Make a Howard the Duck movie. Give someone $50 million and make a Howard the Duck movie, and I guarantee you critics will be like, wow, this actually stands out from like a $300 million fucking Thor movie now.
Right.
And people will be like, whoa, what is this? Like, try different shit and give directors more creativity while doing so.
Some of these obscure IPs, like, they have big budgets, but they almost look cheap too. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's another thing.
The MCU like has some of the biggest budgets they've ever had right now.
Yeah.
And oftentimes look the cheapest they've ever looked. Like the CGI and the green screen, like, it just looks bad. Ant-Man, some of those screenshots next to fucking Spy Kids 3D.
Oh, yeah.
It's so funny. It's the funniest shit ever.
Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Yeah.
They definitely have a lot of relations with it, because it's like the VFX department. Have you heard about the whole VFX controversy at Marvel Studios?
No, please fill me in.
So apparently they give them like these really impossible deadlines to get this shit done. Apparently Ant-Man Quantumania, I've just found out what it was called. Ant-Man Quantumania, the VFX team was super short on finishing the VFX because the majority of them were working on Black Panther at the same fucking time because who knew that if you worked on more than 4 movies in your fucking studio and you have the same VFX department that a few of them would probably overwork.
Right.
What a concept.
Again, just another point to like they just need to slow down, I think, and handle each of these films with a little bit more care.
Yeah. Maybe give the VFX people some time to like breathe, sleep, eat food. I don't know. That's just a concept. Maybe Black Panther didn't need to come out last year. It could have been pushed 2 years and still make its money back. It wouldn't have made a difference.
I saw an interview with Michael B. Jordan, and he said they were trying. Marvel really wanted to rush Wakanda Forever because they didn't want it to come out when Avatar came out. They wanted it to come out before Avatar because they felt like they were similar films.
I guess the Namor shit because it's water. But the point being, like, who gives a fuck? Like, don't rush your fucking movie.
Yeah.
Just, hey, let's have Avatar get released this time. We already had 2 fucking movies come out already this year from Marvel Studios and a show.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know, maybe push it back a few months. It's still gonna make its money back. It's not like if you push a movie now, it's gonna lose a ton of money because movies have been pushed back due to COVID. They still made their money back.
For sure, especially with an IP like Black Panther.
Yeah.
Like, it's a second installment of an extremely successful film, one of the most successful in recent MCU.
Yeah.
So it's like people are gonna go see it no matter when it comes out.
Yeah. And they'll make money too from Disney Plus because they're gonna release it in
There you
the
go,
streaming
yeah.
service. So it's like they're not losing any money, and even like they are running out of steam though from the box office. It does show because I don't think anything's gonna make Spider-Man. Is it No Way Home or Far From Home? What are these fucking titles?
No Way Home.
That's the one with the 3 Spider-Man,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Yo, shout out to Spider-Man movies. I can't tell the difference between your fucking movies now because they all sound the same.
Because they all have home in the title.
Yeah. Homecoming I can differentiate, but Far From Home and No Way Home, they
Yeah,
sound so fucking familiar.
I
like
agree. The amount of times I've mistaken those and switched those in a conversation, I can't even count.
one has the 3 Spider-Man that people are gonna watch more, and the other has I don't even know what the other one has.
Yeah, it's not. I don't like it very much.
Mysterio? Yeah.
Mysterio.
Sure. You got a character. You get a character. I haven't even seen some of these movies. I'm looking at them. I'm so fucking behind. Like Shang-Chi I haven't seen. Apparently that one was good.
I actually saw that one.
Was that good?
I could actually give you
Okay.
a Shang-Chi review.
Thank you. Okay.
One of the few MCU films I've actually watched recently.
Okay.
I saw Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
Really liked it.
There we go. Okay.
Really liked it. Like I also saw Doctor Strange. I love Shang-Chi way more.
That's good. See, all the TikTok people are going to be like, well, you said Shang-Chi was good, Nathan. That means that the MCU is always good.
Shang-Chi felt a little separate from the MCU. It felt like its
Yeah.
own thing. Because they're establishing the character,
Yeah.
they kind of have to give a shit about the story of establishing the character because it's not characters
Right.
we already know.
Yeah.
And for that reason, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I thought Shang-Chi was solid.
like you can see that film not being released by Marvel. Like if you just
Yeah.
saw a film called Shang-Chi and that's all you heard, no IP, no DC, Marvel, Star Wars shit, you'd still watch and be like, yeah, it was a good.
Yeah,
solid.
and it does have the MCU crossover at the end with
Which character? I don't know.
That's
Fucking
the guy who
Thanos.
makes the
No,
circles?
Thanos is dead. Doctor Strange.
No, not him.
His friend.
The current Sorcerer Supreme. Who's the new guy?
I don't fucking know. We got to do a BuzzFeed article and answer these questions.
God
Are you
damn
a real MCU fan? Who is this character? I was like, fuck if I know.
Is it Kang? No.
Kang? Is Kang in the film?
No, I'm lying.
No,
I'm
Kang.
lying. It's
Kang
not
is Jonathan Majors. We discussed him on our last week's episode.
Yeah,
in
when
Creed
we were-
3, a good
when we were
movie.
talking about good movies.
Yeah. But you know what? I've been shit talking the MCU for quite a while on this episode. I'm going to talk about the good MCU films and what they could learn from those older entries. I would say.
Hold on,
Are you trying to
Wong. His name's Wong.
Apologies to the character Wong. I'm sure there's a ton of fans of Wong from the MCU films that are like, you don't know his name.
Have you seen Wong in anything? Is he in other stuff? He's in Spider-Man.
He was in Doctor Strange.
Oh, and he's in Doctor Strange. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And Doctor Strange 2. Because they made a sequel. But no, I'll talk about the good MCU films. The ones that I have watched more than once and have enjoyed. I love the first Iron Man. I think the first Iron Man's fucking amazing.
It's awesome.
It's a perfect script. It's one of those perfect origin story scripts.
Yep. Huge
Like-
part of my childhood. Wanted to be Iron Man so bad.
Yeah. And
Iron Man and Spider-Man, those were my two Marvel films like that I'll always go back to.
Yeah, it's my favorite suit too.
Mm-hmm.
Back when it didn't look like a fucking PS5 video game
It's a
graphic.
clean-ass suit.
Yeah, and it's real.
Yeah.
They used a real suit for that film. I love that. Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great one. It feels more like a spy espionage film, and I like that.
Like that one too.
Crossing paths. I like Thor Ragnarok. I think Ragnarok does get a little quirky with its humor at times, but hey, it's got a distinct style. Taika Waititi knew what he was doing.
It's definitely the best Thor. I mean,
Oh yeah, by a mile.
by a mile.
Yeah, best Thor film. I would probably say, oh man, I'm trying really hard to find some good ones here. You know what? I enjoyed Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
I think I enjoyed Endgame more as just the chapter that ends everything. I
Yeah.
love it. There's closure. And you know what? Coming from the MCU, that's hard to come by. It's fucking refreshing. I like Tony's end, his passing.
It's the peak nostalgia bait, and it was like when we weren't too tired of it yet.
Yeah.
Now it's just redundant.
Exactly. This is the top of the mountain, and then like anything lower is like,
Yeah.
You go slightly low with the Spider-Man movie, and then everything else is like, we're just back at.
Yeah, it's like, all right, guys, you've taken it to this crazy level, but like, you got to change something. Like, you
Yeah.
can't just keep trying to do this, and they
Yeah.
kind of have.
Exactly. Hell, even the first Captain America film, I would say the Captain America trilogy is the most consistent in quality out of all of these fucking movies.
Yeah, first Captain America, I liked a lot.
that was good.
and I've seen more than once.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of which one of these films I've seen more than once.
Yeah.
Very, very,
Very
few.
few.
Iron Man,
All right, man.
Captain America, first one. Incredible
Yeah.
Hulk, I've seen more than
Incredible
once.
Hulk's underrated. Nobody talks about that one.
Super underrated.
Right? Damn. I think it got overshadowed by how great Iron Man was,
Yeah.
even though Incredible Hulk at the time was a bigger popular character.
And I think the problem was they didn't really build on it, right? Like
Yeah.
you quickly get Iron Man 2, you quickly get Thor sequels and Captain America sequels.
Yeah.
And they left Hulk to rot on the shelves
I think
until Avengers, right?
Until She-Hulk.
Or-
Until She-Hulk. They managed to bring back Hulk with one of the worst shows that they could have done. But speaking of the Incredible Hulk, the reason why they didn't make sequels was because Hulk is owned by Universal,
Oh, it was like one of those Spider-Man issues.
and they still haven't discussed it since. Sony was able to push in and be like, all right, we'll let you make Spider-Man movies because we know it's going to make billions of
Yeah,
dollars.
we
and it
know
fucking
how
did.
much money's on the table, right? Yeah.
But with Hulk, it's not as big of a franchise as Spider-Man, hence why they haven't made sequels since, which sucks.
I want a new Hulk. I tell you what, they make a new Hulk, I'm going to Landmark Cinemas.
Yes! Go to Landmark.
Landmark Cinemas, please sponsor our podcast.
Yes. In terms of movies or shows of the MCU, do you have any interest at all?
What's the upcoming slate? Like, what's coming out? What's next?
Kevin Feige, what do you have on your palette? It's always fucking huge. You name like 20 films and they're all going to come out like 2050, 2030.
Okay.
What do you got?
Does Across the Spider-Verse count?
It's not part of
No,
MCU,
it
but it looks like
doesn't
a good movie.
I guess that's just like my
Guardians 3 I'm excited for because James Gunn said this is his last Marvel film.
Mhm.
He's like, I'm done with Marvel. Now I got to fucking carry the whole DC franchise on my back. Good luck, James.
Yeah, he's got a tall task.
You're going to
there,
get
too.
fucking back pains, I can tell you that much.
Yeah, he's got a tall task there.
Making a Superman film and shit. But what are the other ones? There's a Avengers Duck Dynasty. Isn't that the one? No, it's Kang Dynasty, isn't it? What the fuck is this shit called?
Avengers Duck Dynasty.
Remember that show, guys? Remember Duck Dynasty? Yeah, Kevin Feige contacted them.
That's hilarious.
New Marvel shit. I'm just gonna type out new Marvel movies coming out.
Captain America. There's a Captain America coming out
Oh,
next
really?
year. New World Order. First I'm hearing of it, to be honest with you.
Huh.
But like you said, Captain America has consistently had some of the most solid entries of the MCU.
But is Chris Evans in that one? I don't think he is.
Ooh.
I think it might be Anthony
That's a
Mackie and
little-
Sebastian Stan, which are great actors. But yeah,
Oh yeah, it is.
yeah. Because I think Chris Evans is done with the Marvel shit. Same with Robert Downey Jr.
Harrison Ford is in this one.
What?
He's playing
Yo.
Thunderbolt Ross.
You know what? You know what that meeting was like when he went to Marvel Studios. They're like, "Oh, it's so great to have you." Harrison's like, "How much? How much you paying me?"
Yeah,
It's like, "We're
for
paying
real.
you $20 million." It's like, "All right, I'll be in it for 2 minutes."
You know Harrison Ford. You know Harrison Ford is trying to cash some checks.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him. What's some other ones?
Deadpool 3 is not in the
Deadpool 3. Here's the thing about Deadpool 3. Ryan Reynolds, I feel like after that he's done.
Yeah.
So he's like, fuck it. I'm bringing Hugh Jackman in it. We're
Love
just
to see that.
Yeah. Well, I think they're trying to hint at that, or it's confirmed.
It's confirmed.
It's
yeah.
confirmed, and he's just gonna be like, you know what? Technically speaking, 20th Century Fox is Disney. I'm gonna try to make a rated R film for Disney Marvel, and that's my last outing. That's probably what he's thinking.
No
right now.
question, I'm gonna go see Deadpool 3.
Yeah.
Like I think it's gonna be great.
I like the Deadpool films.
I've always liked them for what they are. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's Blade. They're making a Blade film, which
Blade.
has been in development hell for quite some time due to the fact that they've, I think, fired like 2 directors already. It's like in and out. Mahershala Ali's read the script. He fucking hates
Mahershala
it.
Ali, he's from that. What's that movie where he's like
He was in Moonlight,
he's the jazz player.
Green Book.
Green Book.
Green
That
Book-
movie rocks.
Green Book was good. Yeah,
Green Book's a great film.
That was a solid film. I would say, yeah, he's been in a ton of great stuff. So when he's saying that the script sucks ass, then you guys better make.
Then the
rewrites.
script sucks ass.
Yeah, exactly. You guys got to do some rewrites here, like, which I'm glad they've pushed that film back. They're like, no, we'll move Blade, and if they do, and if they release it, please make it rated R, for the love of God. Don't make a PG rated Blade
What's
film.
Thunderbolts?
Isn't that the
I feel
fucking?
like we sound like.
Isn't that like a fucking
Any
Teletoon?
Marvel nerd is already in the comments like, you guys don't know shit.
Listen here, MCU nerds, MCU stans. You guys watch these movies twice in a row and the shows millions of times. I'm going to say something. You can enjoy these films for what they are, but there's always that part in everyone's interests and fan bases where it doesn't hurt to try a little harder.
Yeah.
There's always, you're open to criticism, and who knows, you might disagree with our opinions on all these MCU films, but if you're a diehard fan, please expect more. Have these directors have these
Hold them
visions.
accountable. We get it.
Exactly.
You love the IPs.
Yeah.
And you'll show up to watch these characters do anything because you love them.
Exactly.
But
There's
they
room for
can't just
improvement.
keep getting away with shitting on the screen.
Exactly.
They got to try. They got to care a little bit more.
Yeah. And you know what? That's how I see it. Like what you like, but everything is
And it's like the fans got to hold them accountable.
Yeah. And and I'm not talking about the discussion of like do what the fans always want. No,
that's not the way to go.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because when you do that, you get shits like Rise of Skywalker,
Right.
where they just looked at the negative reviews of Last Jedi and they're like, oh, okay, we'll bring back Palpatine because
Somehow.
that makes sense.
Somehow Palpatine has returned.
And everyone fucking hates it still.
Yeah.
Because who knew fans don't know how to write movies?
Right.
Filmmakers know how to write movies.
100%.
What a concept. So yeah, that's how I would view it. Thunderbolts, I don't know what the fuck that is. That sounds like a white TV show.
Another Harrison Ford check, though.
Yo, good for. Is he in that?
Bro, it says he's going to be in this. Florence Pugh and Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford be like, make that 50 million.
Harrison Ford probably like, I'm going to retire soon. Let me get a couple of my MCU checks.
I've been Indiana Jones for 50 fucking years. All right, I'm fucking. They killed me as Han Solo, thank God.
Why does Harrison Ford sound like
Fucking-
Joey Diaz?
Joey Diaz here, yo.
Listen here, cocksuckers.
Listen here, cocksuckers. I ain't gonna be in no Indiana Jones films. Unless you give me $100 million.
I'm fucking...
Not a blue cheese with wings.
Is it 50 million to go fuck your mother?
Do it. He was smoking some Newports before getting here.
So funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, I'm not very excited about any of this shit.
No.
The ones I'm excited about are not attached to the MCU, like
Yeah.
Across the Spider-Verse and Deadpool 3.
Yeah. That's completely fair. You're not excited for Morbius 2?
It's Morbin time.
What if we reviewed that film on this podcast? How would you react, Nathan?
I think we'd have some good jokes. I think it'd be a pretty funny episode.
Yeah, how the fuck did that film get made? Like that was my first like when I saw the trailer, I was like Morbius? So like he's a vampire and shit? And, it was like,
And the rollout of that was so odd too, right? Like
yeah.
it did shit. And then there was like a bunch of like memes going on TikTok and
Yeah.
stuff, and it kind of got this like meme buzz.
Right.
And then it was back in the theater.
Oh yeah, because they thought people actually enjoyed the movie.
Yeah,
and
it
people
was
were
like,
like,
no, guys, we were shitting on it.
yeah. And they lost even more money when they re-released it. So then everyone responded saying, no, we were busy that week. You gotta re-release it again, guys. And Sony's like, we're not falling for that shit. And it's like, oh, okay.
That to me
So,
is so funny.
Shout out to the Venom films for just not giving a fuck. You gotta respect them for that. I mean, like Tom Hardy's having fun.
Yeah, hell yeah.
At least it's like shitty in a good way, and like, hey, like we know we're shit, but like, who cares? Here's Carnage. We're gonna have a Venom Carnage fight,
Yeah.
and it's 90 minutes. Thank God. It's like, oh man, a superhero film that's 90 minutes long.
Yeah, those Venom films are nice and digestible. I like them.
Yeah, they're not Oscars. They're not like
No.
they're not Sam Raimi Spider-Man films.
Of course not.
But hey, I'll take what I can get. So
So if we're discussing MCU's future versus the DCEU future, who do you think's got more potential?
well, the fucking DCU had to get resurrected because it fucking died.
I mean, they got a clean slate now,
Yeah.
so
Clean slate is better than.
it's better that because MCU kind of seems like they're not learning their lesson. I think the box office needs to start tanking more.
Yeah,
It's got to do worse for them to like switch this up.
to learn something. Yeah. I would say DC has an advantage of James Gunn basically like, all right, we're gonna try the cleanest slate we could and try to make like films that are director driven, that have scripts that are well written. We're not gonna do a Suicide Squad where we're gonna have David Ayer write a fucking script in 7 days.
Yeah.
You don't do that, especially if your film is supposed to make tons of money. So take time, and I feel like DC is learning from that. I think. I don't know. I could be completely wrong, and they fumble once again. But yeah, that's my thoughts.
And I know it kind of sounds like we're just shitting on MCU
Yeah.
this whole episode because we kind of are. The truth is we are. But, deep down, we love Marvel. We love Marvel.
Yeah.
We grew up with Marvel. Marvel will always love Marvel. And there'll always be a part of me that gets excited when a Spider-Man movie is announced. That inner child in me always, right?
Yeah.
We love these IPs and we just want to see some good. Like
Yeah.
somebody who really cares about them and is not pumping out films like by committee just to get
Yeah.
these movies out.
Learn from other superhero films that have come out recently. Look at Logan. Look at Spider-Verse.
Uh-huh.
Look at The Batman. We made an episode about that. Check it out.
It's not like there's not examples out there
Yeah.
of good superhero films. To this day, they're still coming out.
So I would say learn from those films and learn from other films too. Don't just look at superhero films. Take advantage of the medium itself and be like, hey, what if Batman was a David Fincher style?
Yeah, what are some tropes that we can bring from
Yeah.
these other films into and play them out in a superhero world?
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah. So yeah, we said a lot of positives. And I
Yeah.
think what we're trying to say is we love the MCU. TikTok, we love it.
We love the MCU. We can't get enough of it. I can't wait to go see Thunderbolts.
Thundercats.
I can't wait
Yo,
to go see
Thundercats, man. Marvel.
Thundercats with Harrison Ford.
Yep. As a Thundercat? I'm a Thundercat. Where's my check?
And we will wrap on that. Thank you for watching this episode of the Real Talk Podcast. I want to hear your thoughts on the MCU. I want to hear some constructive criticism. What can they do to make this better going forward? Let us know what you think. Don't forget to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe to your boys. We'll catch you in the next one. Take care. Brush your hair.
Peace out.